French far-right leader found guilty of embezzling EU funds. Far-right leader. French leader Marine Le Pen has been convicted of embezzlement and handed a 5-year ban from public office. Sentence will bar Le Pen, 56, from running in the 2026 presidential race unless she successfully appeals beforehand. Judge also gave Le Pen a 4-year prison sentence, of which 2 years are suspended and the rest served under home detention, and a €100,000 fine. The ruling marks a catastrophic setback for the three-time presidential contender. National Rally Party chief, the frontrunner in opinion polls on the 2027 contest. Frontrunner in opinion polls has just been arrested for embezzling money, apparently. Le Pen National Rally Party and some 24 party figures were accused by prosecutors of diverting over €4.1 million of European parliamentary funds to pay staff working for the party in France. The defendants said the money was used legitimately and that the allegations incorporated too narrow a definition of what parliamentary assistant does. Judge Benedict ruled that Le Pen, along with 8 other people who were EU lawmakers at the time, 12 parliamentary assistants, were guilty of embezzling EU funds. 4.1 million, guys. Meanwhile, there's billion going to some places that it probably shouldn't. The court later sentenced Le Pen to jail sentence of 4 years, suspended for 2 years. She would spend 2 years sentence in home detention, not behind bars. Also fined an RF party €2 million, half of which was suspended. What does the verdict mean for Le Pen's presidential hopes? The verdict delivers a massive blow to Le Pen, a 3-time presidential contender who has previously said in 2027 vote would be her final tilt at top office. Polls have shown Le Pen to be a frontrunner in the race after she successfully moved her party towards the mainstream. This is ABC News, by the way, guys. Very biased website. The RN is the biggest single party in parliament thanks to the broadened support amongst younger and blue-collar voters. Prosecutors asked judges to impose an immediate 5-year ban on Le Pen regardless of any appeal via a so-called provisional execution measure. In most cases in France, sentences are not applied until any appeal process has run its course. However, if judges apply a provisional execution, as they have done, the sentence begins immediately. So in most cases, sentences are not applied until the appeals process has been finished. But this time, no appeal. Provisional execution ban will not see Le Pen removed from a seat in parliament until her mandate ends, though it will prevent her from running in any fresh electoral contest. A 5-year provisional execution ban will block her 2027 run. What have Le Pen and others said at the trial? Le Pen has accused the prosecutors of seeking her political death, arguing the provisional execution request was completely disappropriate. She and her allies alleged a witch hunt to keep the RN out of power, echoing claims made by US President Donald Trump over his legal vows. Is this another case of what's happening in Ireland and what they tried to do to Trump? I don't know. It is not just Le Pen and her allies who have expressed concern over what they see as judicial overreach. Prime Minister Francois Bayrou and Justice Minister Gerald Deramin, as well as some left-wing rivals, have signaled discomfort with judges rather than voters, deciding who can run for office, underlying a backlash against lawfare. This has led to prosecutors and judge receiving online death threats. Reuters reported, part of growing international blowback over perceived judicial efforts to police politics. That's what it seems like to me. Let's just, Look, when you're in politics, there's probably a bunch of things that you'll miss and do. I'm not saying she's innocent, but they'll probably be able to find anything on you, right? And what does RN do now? RN leaders have said they did not expect Le Pen to be barred, but that if she were, the 29-year-old party president Jordan Bardella would be their 2027 candidate. Jordan Bardella, we're going to hear that name a little bit more, aren't we? Bardella slammed Monday's court ruling, saying today is not only Marie Le Pen who was unjustly condemned, it was French democracy that was killed. It seems like never before, all of a sudden, a lot of politicians are being put in jail or threatened, banned from voting, all sorts of crazy shit's going on around the world. But there you go, the far right leader. So she basically, Le Pen, basically the national parties. So, you know, what that entails. Ran for in 2012, 2017, 2022. Can no longer run. Nope. You can no longer run, lady. Weird. Is anything like this happening in your country? I wonder.